Stanford researchers made a discovery that surprised even them. When they tested two diets head-to-head, one high in fiber, one high in fermented foods, the results weren't even close. The fermented food group saw their gut bacteria diversity increase, while 19 inflammatory markers in their blood dropped significantly. The high fiber group, their microbiome barely changed. Today, I'm revealing the 10 best foods for gut health, ranked by what the science actually shows. And number 1 might not be what you expect. Before we dive in, this is educational content based on peer-reviewed research, not medical advice. Your situation is unique, so always work with a healthcare provider on personal decisions. Here's why this ranking matters. Your gut contains trillions of bacteria, more cells than in your entire body. And these microorganisms do far more than just digest food. They produce vitamins, they train your immune system, they even communicate directly with your brain. In fact, approximately 70% of your immune cells live in your gut. But here's the problem. Modern Western diets have stripped away the foods our gut bacteria need to thrive. Research shows Americans eat an average of only 15 grams of fiber daily, less than half of what's recommended. The result: reduced microbiome diversity has been linked to everything from obesity to diabetes to autoimmune conditions. But the science also reveals something hopeful. Dietary changes can begin reshaping your gut microbiome within just 24 to 48 hours. And specific foods have been proven to support beneficial bacteria far more than others. That's exactly what we're covering today. The 10 foods with the strongest scientific evidence for gut health. I'll reveal number 1 at the end, and the research behind it is genuinely surprising. Let's start with number 10. Number 10, asparagus. This often overlooked vegetable is one of the richest natural sources of a prebiotic fiber called inulin. Prebiotics are essentially food for your beneficial gut bacteria. When bacteria ferment inulin, they produce short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate, which serves as fuel for the cells lining your colon. Research in the journal Nutrients showed that butyrate helps maintain intestinal barrier integrity and supports anti-inflammatory processes. 1 cup of asparagus provides about 1.8 grams of inulin. But here's a tip: the prebiotic content is highest in raw or lightly cooked asparagus. Number 9. Whole grains like oats and barley. These aren't just fiber sources. They contain a specific type called beta-glucan that research suggests may selectively promote beneficial bifidobacterium. A 2023 review in the journal Gut Microbes found that beta-glucan from oats increased both bifidobacterium and lactobacillus populations. The key is choosing intact whole grains, steel-cut oats, whole barley, quinoa, rather than refined versions. Processing breaks down the fiber structure that your gut bacteria need. Number 8. Leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard. These greens contain something unique. A 2016 study in Nature Chemical Biology discovered that leafy greens contain an unusual sugar molecule called sulfoquinavose, or SQ. Beneficial bacteria like E. coli, yes, the helpful strains, use SQ as fuel. This feeds a specific subset of protective bacteria that helps crowd out harmful pathogens. Aim for at least 1 to 2 cups of leafy greens daily. Number 7, nuts, especially almonds and walnuts. These aren't typically thought of as gut foods, but the research is compelling. A 2018 study in the Journal of Nutritional Science found that eating about 43 grams of almonds daily increased bifidobacterium and lactobacillus levels. Walnuts are particularly interesting. Research published in Nutrients showed walnuts increased bacteria that produce butyrate while decreasing pro-inflammatory secondary bile acids. The combination of fiber, polyphenols, and healthy fats makes nuts a triple threat for gut health. Quick note, I've put a comprehensive guide in the description with links to all the studies I'm referencing. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The next 6 foods on this list have something in common. They all have clinical trial evidence showing specific mechanisms for improving gut health. Not just associations, actual demonstrated effects. Number 6, polyphenol-rich berries. blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. These aren't just antioxidant powerhouses. Research published in the journal Molecules found that berry polyphenols directly modulate gut bacteria composition. Here's why that matters. Most polyphenols aren't well absorbed in the small intestine. Instead, they reach the colon, where gut bacteria break them down into bioactive metabolites. It's a two-way relationship. Berries feed the bacteria, and the bacteria transform the berries into health-promoting compounds. A 2024 review found that berry consumption was associated with increases in Bifidobacterium and Akkermansia, both linked to metabolic health. Fresh or frozen works equally well, but skip the sugary dried versions. Number 5. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. You might not expect fish on a gut health list, but omega-3 fatty acids have a fascinating relationship with your microbiome. A randomized controlled trial published in Gut Microbes found that fish oil supplementation increased beneficial bacteria, including Bifidobacterium and Lactobacillus. The research showed that omega-3s help reduce levels of inflammation-promoting bacteria while supporting gut barrier function. Omega-3s may also influence how gut bacteria process bile acids, compounds that significantly affect metabolism. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week. If you're plant-based, note that alpha-linolenic acid from sources like flaxseed converts less efficiently to the active EPA and DHA. Number 4. Legumes, beans, lentils, and chickpeas. This is where things get serious. Legumes are among the most powerful gut health foods for a simple reason. They're loaded with resistant starch and fiber. A 2023 study found that participants who added just 1 cup of beans daily showed significant increases in gut microbiome diversity. The study also revealed increases in Faecalibacterium, a bacterium strongly associated with gut health, and decreases in potentially harmful species. Common beans contain 23 to 32 grams of fiber per 100 grams. That's extraordinary. And here's a practical tip. The resistant starch content increases when beans are cooked and then cooled. Black beans, navy beans, lentils, variety matters because different legumes feed different bacterial species. Number 3. Prebiotic-rich alliums, specifically garlic and onions. These might be the most underrated gut health foods. A 2023 study presented at the American Society for Nutrition Conference identified garlic, leeks, and onions as among the top prebiotic-dense foods. They're particularly rich in inulin and fructooligosaccharides, or FOS, which are specific fibers that beneficial bacteria preferentially consume. A December 2024 study published in mSystems showed that onion extracts significantly increased short-chain fatty acid-producing bacteria, including Bifidobacterium and Faecalibacterium. The study found that genes related to butyrate production were significantly overrepresented after onion consumption. Raw garlic and onions have the highest prebiotic content. Cooking reduces some benefits. Even 1 to 2 cloves of garlic or half an onion daily can make a measurable difference. Now we're in the top 2, and this is where the scientific evidence becomes exceptionally strong. Number 2, resistant starch foods, particularly cooled potatoes, cooled rice, and green bananas. A landmark study published in Nature Metabolism in February 2024 revealed something remarkable. When 37 overweight participants consumed 40 grams of resistant starch daily for 8 weeks, they lost an average of 2.8 kilograms. That's over 6 pounds. But here's what made this study different from typical fiber research. The researchers identified the exact mechanism. Resistant starch increased a specific bacterium called Bifidobacterium adolescentis. This bacterium altered bile acid profiles and reduced lipid absorption, creating metabolic benefits beyond simple calorie reduction. When researchers transplanted the modified gut bacteria into mice, those mice were protected from diet-induced obesity. This proves the gut bacteria changes, not just the fiber itself, drove the benefits. So what are resistant starch foods? Cooked and cooled potatoes, cooked and cooled rice, green or slightly underripe bananas. The cooling process, called retrogradation, transforms regular starch into resistant starch. Even reheating doesn't fully reverse this. So yesterday's potato salad is actually a gut health food. And now, number 1. The food with the strongest clinical evidence for gut health. Number 1. Fermented foods: yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and kombucha. I mentioned Stanford at the beginning. Let me explain why this research was so significant. In 2021, researchers published a groundbreaking study in the journal Cell. 36 healthy adults were randomly assigned to either a high-fiber diet or a high-fermented food diet for 17 weeks. The prediction was that high fiber would win. Fiber has decades of positive research behind it. But the results shocked the researchers. The fermented food group showed significant increases in gut microbiome diversity. The high-fiber group showed almost no change. Even more striking, 19 inflammatory proteins in the blood, including interleukin-6, a key driver of chronic inflammation, decreased only in the fermented food group. 4 types of immune cells showed reduced activation only in fermented food consumers. Lead researcher Justin Sonnenberg called it a stunning finding, one of the first examples of a simple dietary change reproducibly remodeling the microbiota. Here's what makes fermented foods unique. They introduce live beneficial bacteria directly, while also providing compounds that feed existing gut bacteria. The study found that larger servings produced stronger effects, and benefits continued even after the formal study period ended. Yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, tempeh, kombucha. Variety matters because different fermented foods contain different beneficial organisms. Aim for at least 2 to 3 servings of fermented foods daily. Let me quickly recap all 10. Number 10, asparagus. Number 9, whole grains. Number 8, leafy greens. Number 7, nuts. Number 6, berries. Number 5, fatty fish. Number 4, legumes. Number 3, garlic and onions. Number 2, resistant starch foods. And number 1, fermented foods, backed by one of the most rigorous gut health studies ever conducted. Remember, what we've covered today is what research shows in controlled studies. Your body is unique, and a qualified professional can help you apply these insights to your specific situation. Everything we covered is linked in the description, including direct links to all the studies mentioned. Subscribe for new gut health research every week. Next time, we're covering what happens inside your body when you actually start improving your gut health, day by day, from the first 48 hours through month 3. See you there.